pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We could bow our heads just for a second. Lord, as we come here tonight, let this meeting be productive. Let it be for the people. Let it be in your name. Lord, let us remember that we are to serve you and to serve one another. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Roll call.
Scott?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yep.
Stan? Steve? Bill?
Yes.
Rob?
Yep.
Okay, everybody had a chance to look over the minutes? Okay, everyone here. Is there any discussion on it?
As I remember it, so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Was that Rob?
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yep.
Bill?
Yes.
Get through those people in here.
Okay, financial report, Scott.
Okay, let's put this up here. Okay, I have the payment reconciliation for 12/31/2016. Adjusted balance was $1,655,421.77. The checks written for the month of December totaled $106,000, $106,756.06. And basically the appropriations and revenue status is basically just getting started for New Year, so right now everything's in good shape, so. And I guess when we bring that up, now I'll talk about.
No,
this.
we'll
Do
talk
that
it
later?
down.
Okay. We'll discuss that later then. Any questions or? Yeah, I'll send all this stuff along to you guys.
Okay, you need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Rob?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes.
Any public comment?
There's just one spot, or is there two?
There's several on there. They all gotta be signed.
Okay. I'll find out if I didn't audit, you gave that, Scott, so we're good. Police report, Brandon?
You should have the monthly report for December. The only thing really to report is this year again, Melissa kind of spearheaded adopting a family here in the village, and us officers went and did some shopping together, which took longer than expected, of course, trying to agree on gifts for kids. And then we delivered them on the 23rd to that family.
Cool.
So it's kind of a feel-good thing that we get to do every year, so we enjoy doing it. This is the second or third year we've done it in a row, so,
The kids smile?
yeah.
Good.
Mother was very happy, gave us hugs and everything.
Good.
Good time.
That's what's important.
Thank you, good job. Anybody got any questions for Brandon? No, fire, Mike?
We had, 9 calls for the month last, December, total 134. We have an increase of 19% more calls last year than we've had in previous years, so call volume's up a little bit, so. Let's see. I think Scott's gonna bring it up about a line item for, we gotta talk about that now, or do you have it later?
I guess we can talk about it now. Basically, they got some money left over in their budget for 2016, they would like to carry over towards maybe a truck payment or something moving forward, but they haven't really decided on a truck yet. But I think we need, if we're gonna do something like that, I guess it all depends on what we do with the levy as well. We gotta make sure the levy passed,
brings in.
and then before we can really make a decision, but I think it makes sense just to put the money in the fund so we can start spending a pool, and that gives us some options at a future date. Does it They have any issues or concerns with that before I make a motion?
Cause right now we have,
I'll make a motion.
How much do you have?
Yeah.
$12,320.95.
What'd you say, 12,000 what?
$12,320.95.
Okay. I'll second it.
Do you want that towards a truck or just anything, like?
no, truck payment for a truck, purchase of a truck.
Who second?
Rob?
Joyce?
Yeah.
Rob?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
No, also I gave Angela our updated roster too for 2017. I think we got like 24 members on the roster, but we've got 13 to 14 that are firemen, and I've got 3 guys that are going this month of January to take their 36-hour firefighting class, so.
Okay, so growing up here, huh?
Yes, yep,
Heading in the right direction.
correct. And then, I need a certified letter sent to a member of the fire department requesting village property back.
Yeah, we have talked to Rick, I think he's gonna just have to have send a letter basically with the teeth, because basically, the guy hasn't been here for 6 months, has not returned.
Hasn't been here
It's
for
basically a pager,
A year.
and they're pretty expensive, so we need to try to get that back, so I think we just send a letter. Rick can write a letter up and send to him. saying-
I've sent the gentleman 2 letters already. He signed 1 letter saying that he would show up in 6 months, he hasn't. Then I sent another letter to return the stuff, and I haven't got it back, and that's been December, so.
Yeah,
Okay, you've done your part, let Rick do his now, huh?
yeah, I think that we can get it resolved, hopefully.
Just give me a call with the name and
I
address.
will, I'll get with
And
you.
if you can fax me the previous letters too.
Okay,
We
yeah,
can
I've got,
probably
actually
give
got
it to you
copies of
after,
it.
can you give it to him after? the-
Yeah, I've got all that with me already, yep.
We can get that resolved.
And then, Johnny, I don't remember if you guys remember now, Johnny bought, how much floor drain stuff, how long ago, Johnny? It's been a while ago.
That was a year ago.
Yeah, and we talked about getting prices for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some prices, so we kinda got an idea
So
what
you
it's
can
gonna.
get it put in?
Yeah, so we got a rough idea what it's gonna be. I don't know if you guys noticed in the station out there's a puddle underneath our engine 61. That pump needs to, I'm trying to take that pump to Darlene and look at it. And we just put packing in it last November, I think it was. And
It's leaking again.
yeah, well, we did some hose testing last night and it blew that pump packing out for some odd reason or something. And I'm not sure how much that's gonna cost, so.
You know, there's probably how many rings of packing in that,
There's-
that plan assembly, probably at least
20
4.
of them. Place said there was 20 put in
Yeah,
there.
could be,
But and they're only like little, you know,
It's
they're
a
only
little
like-
slug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just little slugs,
Yeah.
you know, so they're not very big, but I think he told me they put 20 in there. So, I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with it, that's a fence.
that damn long with it.
Probably cost $12,320.
I hope not. That's why I tried saving the money.
Yeah, that's the way it works sometimes.
How did the popcorn ball thingies go?
Good, I mean, we didn't make like we normally make, just because of the manpower. So we just made as much as we could in the amount of time we had, and it's first come, first served, whoever wanted them.
Got 'em.
I make mine, I got my batch right off the bat.
Yeah, because we weren't gonna, you know, we didn't,
You just didn't have resources.
right, yep,
That's an issue.
so. All right, anything else?
Okay, anybody got any questions for Mike?
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Clean up, Joycey.
Well, I sent the letter and they cleaned up kinda sorta. So, start tomorrow, I gotta go back down there and say you gotta do the rest of it, so. They did the front yard, but the backyard,
Backyard,
yeah, they must have threw everything out, the front yard and the backyard, but, so, I'll take care of that tomorrow,
Okay, you just got one letter out.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if anybody sees anything like that, just let Joyce know so she can get the letters out.
Mad dog.
Water sewer street, John.
I'm gonna jump in old business.
Okay. Okay. Park, you wanted to speak on something, didn't you, Sam?
Well, I was approached
by a couple people about trying to get activities for the younger kids that are in town. And they brought up a couple ideas like, paintball and, like airsoft that we could do out at the park. I didn't know, how that would work. Would I have to get like waiver forms and all that stuff, just to cover everything? I wanted to find out before I started setting that kind of stuff up.
You're gonna have to like get a price on all this stuff in there too, that you gotta buy.
But
Certainly,
if
certainly
something like
waivers.
that, I would think they would have to supply their own equipment,
Right,
their own safety
Is that how it
equipment.
works, okay.
make sure they have their own goggles and.
Yeah, and before they even start the tournament or event or whatever you wanna call it,
Yeah.
I would have to, or somebody would have to make sure they had their own safety equipment and,
Sign
you know,
waivers and stuff.
sign waivers and all that
We
stuff.
can make that as part of the waiver, that they
Yeah.
gotta make sure they wear, and they're gonna not only waive, but they'll make sure they take the proper precautions also.
Okay,
Safety goggles, whatever. You know, you can get hurt with something like that in your eye or something.
Or a face mask, or, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta have a drone race,
what's that?
a drone race. Everybody, they
I-
got drones for Christmas, right?
Yeah, I've been, I got in contact with one person, I'm waiting for him to contact me back. It's been probably about 2 weeks or so, that I'm gonna have to try to get a hold of him again.
Some stuff like that.
So you want a waiver for paintball,
And, or airsoft,
and old people could participate if they
Yes.
wanted to.
anybody could,
It'd be all paint, but it'd be, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done it before.
You probably
It's
be the
fun.
first one, huh?
It's
Down.
fun.
I'm not sure on the drones though, isn't there a new FAA waivers that we gotta have, or is it below a certain altitude? I know-
We're far enough away from the airport, I already looked at that on
Okay.
Google Map.
Okay.
I was just curious, cause when drones came out,
yeah.
so, you can do drones at the park if it's amateur, and that's allowed.
I thought it was 5 nautical miles from the airport, something like that.
I checked at the time I was looking at the regulations, and I've already done it for Bettsville, actually, for the park, cause I thought, well, that'd be cool, but I keep my mouth shut. But we are far enough away here from the airport where you can do it.
Okay. And, it was brought up to me about end of November, December, but it was too late to put together, about a cornhole tournament for, help needy people in Bettsville. But of course, that was, I didn't have enough time to put that.
Wouldn't you rather have it in the summer or something?
Yeah, I would have to put it like in the fall,
Hmm.
early fall, late fall, to do something like that.
Yeah.
Well, like, yeah, we're just getting started, so I mean, just start putting
Yeah.
programs together, at least try to make it.
You just come up with ideas like you're coming up with and stuff like that.
Just try to-
Figure out entrance fees or whatever you're
Yeah.
gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, the paintball and all that, I figured you would have to have an entry fee. And maybe use some of that entry fee to buy like small
Nice.
trophies or something like that, something down that line.
Do you have to set any obstacles up for anything, or do you?
We'll probably have to set some up. I don't really, I would have to look into it more, about exactly how they would have it set up and stuff like that. But,
We got a good time right now, it's not, now's time
Hey,
to
John,
investigate
Now,
that stuff.
now it's time to start thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'll bring the waiver next meeting for paintball.
okay,
If you talk to the Seneca County Radio Control Airplane Club, they may know something about drones too.
well, there's a club, drone club down in, southern Ohio that I contact. They're like 2 hours south of here. That I'm waiting for them to contact, which I'm gonna have to contact them again. And, see what we could do about that.
Isn't that
Good idea to get
Adam
something like
Lincoln?
that set up out
Cause
there.
he,
I
he's
bet
into
there's a number
paintball
of
stuff
clubs
too,
that
isn't he?
formed on
Yeah,
that.
I would bet too.
I think so.
Yeah, you know, get a hold of him too,
Yeah.
maybe he could give you some ideas on the, cause I think they do that a lot from
Who's
what it
that,
sounds. Yeah,
Who?
Adam Linky,
Oh,
yeah, so,
You know, take advantage of those things if they can.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and that's why when people utilize the park and enjoy it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's a couple of ideas that were brought up to me recently, so.
Okay, well, they're good ones.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing. That's how we get there, we move forward.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks, Sam.
While we're still talking, while we're still in the park, we probably ought to talk a little bit about how we're gonna approach this fireworks. So, I know it's kinda early, but we're still gonna figure out how we're gonna do these, we're gonna do a charge for, cause we're gonna have to offset some of these costs, even though the fireworks might be paid, you're still gonna have incurred costs from overtime
We
and
still have to.
Oh, yeah, we
police and all that
Like
stuff.
last year, we had to pay, what, Brandon, wasn't it $20 an hour?
What's that, for the
How
park?
much did we have to pay for the police
Officers.
protection out
Yeah,
there?
for the
Yeah.
park.
$20 an hour, wasn't
You know,
it?
so it adds up for, for a whole day, so, and I guess the other question, I mean, we have to get this
Start
out, so the
thinking
public
about
wants
it,
to do, I mean, are we gonna have any kind of camping out there, or sort of, we do a one-day event, or, that's what we kinda need to kinda figure out. So we're not up against the limit again and not make decisions, so. This, see what the town wants to do, but we're still gonna have to charge some money to offset some of these costs,
Oh, yeah.
because
Lane?
fireworks should get paid for, but you're still gonna have all the other incurred costs, right? I mean, we just gotta,
About the price we make on the parking is about 5,000, isn't it? Somewhere about around in there.
that's what it was last,
Yeah.
Last couple of years.
yeah, last
About
time we did
between
it.
5 and 6, and that takes up a lot of, the expense,
And the
'cause-
fireworks been costing
Yeah.
around
well,
14.
yeah, like I said, the money we made for swimming just paid for the lifeguards, we didn't make a dime, the park didn't make a dime on that,
No,
so, and
So
that's
that's what we
another
need to
thing,
talk
yeah,
about,
we gotta
and-
talk about all this stuff.
I guess the other issue said that the water level was way low too, so that's a
Yeah.
big
It is
issue
way
too,
low.
right? So,
There is a picnic table out there,
is there?
but I don't think anybody slid it across the ice, cause I don't think the ice is thick enough. It looks like it's been there a while. I think the water's just low enough you can see the top of it now. It's probably been there for a long time.
Well, when it's that low, isn't there a lot of bacteria and stuff that gets in that?
No,
You
it's
know?
still a spring fed.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody too, and I said that was the lowest I ever seen it, and he said, no, I've seen it lower than that.
I've seen the
One time
top
I
of
was a
that rock,
kid.
I've seen the top of that rock pile sticking out of the ground, out of
It-
the water.
It is right now.
is it?
Yeah.
I've seen like, how many years ago, when I was younger.
Indian rain dance.
Who's doing the fireworks? Who's in charge? Who's gonna
It's
light
gonna
them
be
off?
Jim Langley again.
Okay.
And you
So
too,
he graciously accepted that deal. Once he found out we was having it, cause he was asked to shoot him off someplace else, and he said, no, you're doing it for Betsville, so we appreciate that, so.
anyways, we start thinking about that, I'm just saying,
Oh, yeah, no,
start
I-
discussing it, cause I
all
said,
things are good.
I just wanna make sure we understand there's gonna be costs, and I want the public to understand we're gonna have to charge something to offset some of those costs. Cause you might not have the same turnout you had in the past, because we'll have to see. What day is the fourth one this year? Fourth.
A Tuesday.
Team kid.
He is right.
He is.
Well, he knew he's right, that's why he said it. Well, what day was it though?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. That's why I asked, I didn't ask what.
So then we decide, we figure out what day we really want them, if we want them if it's gonna be a one-day event, then it'll probably be on the 4th, but if you wanna have camping and stuff like that, then you're gonna probably have to figure out something for the weekend before.
Well, the issue comes down to resources, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna volunteer to take care of all that stuff?
Yeah.
Or are we gonna pay overtime or whatever
Yeah.
to cover all that stuff?
Cause the
that's-
lifeguards took care of all that stuff before.
Right, and now you don't have that resource, so so we gotta think that through, so I just want it out there right now,
Mhm.
so that's kinda where we're at.
Are you thinking about individual charging, or are you still gonna do carload thing?
I think the carload thing works.
Yeah,
but-
Carlo.
Yeah, that's kinda traditional around, that's
Okay.
a good
Yeah.
Carlo thing.
Yeah,
You gotta have something to offer.
yeah.
And it's only the people of Betsville that bitch about the $5 too.
Yeah, I know,
That
I've
in
heard
there,
you
okay.
mention it several times.
Is that your pet peeve?
They're all
That is-
gathered up
that
out
is
here.
my pet peeve. I'm
There's a
sorry.
lot of them.
I'm
Speaking of
I've
sorry.
got lots of pets.
Did we get any of that stuff planted? Did they come out and plant that yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
We'll get her in there.
Okay.
Once it freezes. We'll get her.
Okay, we're done with the park, I'm sorry.
Okay. Zoning, Scott?
It's quiet yet, nobody's building anything right now, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
And nobody's moving any junkyards in, so.
They're already here.
Huh?
They're already here.
Yeah, they're right here. We're trying to do those existing ones, because they're already grandfathered in.
Okay. Okay, old business, the audit is complete now, we've got our things back from the audit. And Scott, you want to go
Yeah.
over a few of those things?
Basically, there were some errors as far as how things were, the money was in the accounts, but the way it was, on the account numbers, it wasn't right, they didn't jive, so they caught that. And there's no money missing or anything like that, or just some things weren't in the right account numbers and stuff like that, just mistakes, and that's what the majority of it. But what it really comes down to is we don't really have a formalized policy for check and balances, and that's kind of what the auditors are saying. And the issue, when it comes down to, corporate governance and the governance laws and stuff are getting more stricter, and they're wanting more structure, and they're wanting more procedures and stuff, so that there's check and balances, so you can catch mistakes before they get signed off at the end of the year, and stuff like that, because that's just basically what we're not doing. So there's basically a few findings here. I'll just read what the client's issues were that he wanted us to address. One of them is a deposit policy. We don't have a policy that's structured for reconciliation on the deposit to make sure that the numbers match before they get deposited. And then there's also the timing. I mean, right now, I think we gotta have it within the 24 hours, and we need to just adjust that a little bit because of the way part-time service, we didn't have that in place, and that was from the part, because it was putting money in, but it wasn't getting it timely like they wanted. So that's one
And
issue.
we'll take care of that tonight. We'll
Take care of that, or these are routine tonight. Record retention schedule, they want a structured, record retention program in place, so they can, so they know that after so many years, you can't destroy the records, but you gotta deal with them, and either put them in historical iHearts or something like that, and we don't have a structured program for that. So we need to address those issues. We don't have a personal information policy. They want a structured policy so it'll protect our employees and stuff, so that people can't get social security numbers and stuff like that. Or if somebody requests something, do you really need to have that information? And how do you protect our employees? That's something we gotta have put in. We don't have enough formalized, and they want a formalized policy. They want a blanket certificate policy, so if we were doing some kind of construction project or something like that, they want a policy, how do you handle that process, and how do you account for the money, and all those things like that. They want a structured policy for that. Recommendations that they said they want an online banking policy for, like when Angela does her banking and stuff online, because banks are all going more online, so as we move forward, we gotta have a structured policy, how do we handle those transfer of funds and things like that, and how we check it, make sure that things got done correctly, and, just check and balance again. Force account policy, again, they want structured, and then they want a meter reading policy, so that we are structured on how we read the utility meters every month. So, they want a structured policy on that as well. So those are some of the things that they recommended, fell through there. Did I catch them all?
Yep.
Angela, then?
They said something about a hazard or something about in case of an emergency.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we had one of those though.
Yeah, but they wanted more.
A disaster.
The disaster.
Disaster.
Yeah, we do have one of
But
those.
it's not.
We already did that though.
Yeah, they did it.
That's the backup and contingency policy that they approved a few months back.
Yeah, yeah,
As soon as they mentioned it, I typed one up and I said it was good, and these guys approved it.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so
So-
that was the meeting I was missing then.
Yeah.
They're using the
Well,
Philippines.
I thought we had one before that though. 'Cause
I
Joyce
thought
went-
we did too.
Yeah, I
but-
went-
You
Yeah,
went
well,
and
all
we
the
had a
meetings,
policy
yeah,
once you
we
were
did,
done,
yeah.
so I thought we had one already.
So,
I guess my
And
question.
can I mention one more thing? The records, well, you have a records commission made up of the mayor, myself, a member of the public, and then our fiscal officer. And it's supposed to meet twice a year. And then you say, and obviously what we're doing now is we're just trying to digitize everything and keep everything, we're not trying to get rid of anything.
Right.
But you have that, they meet twice a year, and that's what you're supposed to do, and then you say, well, here's the meetings of the records commission. And they said, yeah, we're not getting rid of anything, we're just getting it all digitized right now. Until we have everything digitized, then you can label it, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That you have to pay a lot of overtime as to where it would fall, and then you can submit that to the Records Commission in Ohio, the Ohio Historical Society, in order to get it destroyed.
Okay.
So I think if you have, and usually you do that right before a meeting, and you just, again, sacrifice a member of the public somewhere to come on in, to be on it, and that
Okay.
takes care of that
Okay.
issue.
Well, we addressed that as pretty, that's those things we gotta take care of, and then, And speaking, I guess, just so we understand, Jake and everything was here, I'm moving forward with this record thing as well. Jake was in today, we're trying to, work on the web page so that we can access, set the file system up so people can access the information, we're trying to get all that stuff, so the structure works together. Working through the scanning, getting all that stuff done, so we're getting the structure done, so Jake was working on that today. John and I think we're more on the same page, I had a good discussion with him last week, just to kinda get this thing off center, because there was some confusion how he's gonna handle this, but, you know, I think we have the structure to it now, and Jake's getting that kinda put together, and I think.
You
John,
got to talk, you got that on your agenda too, don't you, John?
Yeah.
To talk about?
Okay, so we can talk in more detail, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, so I'm trying to make sure this thing keeps moving forward.
Yeah, well, he's got it.
Those were things.
But, and I think, this was Angela's first audit and I think she did a fine job, cause it's really pretty simple stuff to correct.
Yeah.
There's nothing major. So,
I mean, you gotta keep it in context, I mean, the function of an audit, when they come in, they're gonna find something wrong, and they're not justifying their existence, so, you know, we just gotta get better at how we do things, and as technology moves forward, and as things get more complicated, we just gotta figure out how to manage them as we move forward, because what they did in the past versus what they would expect now is totally different, I mean, things are a lot more strict, I mean, you know, because of all the issues in the past, that they created these laws and things like that. So my only concern is that when we make a procedure, we wanna make sure that it meets the intent of the spirit of the law that we're trying to make sure that we're meeting, and then we need to make sure we have a good means testing that when we check it, that it works, you know, we have a good way to check it, make sure that it, you know, that things reconcile like we're supposed to, and that, you know, we have a way to prove to the public that we're doing our due diligence like we're supposed to, so. Any questions, or?
I think it's pretty decent. Okay, next one's gonna be engineering for manholes on 590, John, you're on.
All right. Okay,